Okay, we're back with another reading of the Planeswalker's Guide to Tarkir Dragonstorm. As you can see, we're having some troubleshooting issues. So as you can tell by my tabs, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. Um, Mardu dare to keep up. Oh yeah, also one thing I didn't mention, I probably should have mentioned the last one, was analyzing these pieces. You have these people for scale to show how big the island is, and these people for scale to show how big this dragon is. One thing you notice about the Sultai is their clothes are more tight fitting, more form fitting in general, with like little loosey, flowy bits. Like they're more form fitting, and I imagine that's because the snake motif. Because snakes, snakes have like a lot of extra bits, so the Sultai sort of reflect this in a way by not having by having fewer flowy bits than some of the other clans, but also they still have like the sort of like serpentine shape. And then with how the other clans were, with how the abs and wear the clothes, obviously more armory, more of like a bigger silhouette, more like protective. And then you have the Jeskai who are like kind of like more flowy, like water or wind. Anyway, so the and expand their vast territory through a combination of agile tactics, superior technology, and identifying and exploiting the weaknesses of their opponents. They are known for their lightning-wielding fighters and archers, their strict and fierce command to their clans, their expert beast riders, and their unparalleled blacksmiths. The Mardu claim the central steppes and grassy plains of Tarkir as a territory, assembling massive mobile cities as a traverse landscape. I think the mobile cities thing is new. I don't think they've always had mobile cities. They've always been kind of like nomadic and running around. But I remember them having mobile cities. They're definitely going hard into the lightning thing here, especially with the dragons. One thing you notice about their dragons, though, besides like the sharp triangle shaped language of lightning, like just triangles everywhere, is that the dragons have like an extra pair of wings to emphasize like kind of like their speed when they fly. Because the Mardu obviously have emphasis on speed. And you can see here like these look like wings or feathers. I don't know. Some of the clan symbols look like they are like have double meanings. Like the abdomen looks like it could read as a scale or a helmet. The way I look at it, like this could also be like the top of a helmet, like that. But and I suppose I don't know what you'd read this eye as though. Is the thing other than a dragon eye. But then you get to like the Sultai, and their symbol's like a fang, but also it's kind of like a snake coiling around itself. So but this looks like just like wings to me. So I don't know if it's let's represent like maybe like a banner of some sort because they do have banners or like a like flowing cloth. But anyway, due to their centrally located territory, the Mardu established treaties with other clans to protect trading caravans from dragons or other clans, taking a portion of the traded goods as payments. Um, the nomadic Mardu can rapidly disseminate information across the plain, sending warnings to allies of oncoming threats and staying ahead of the enemy's movements. They are incredibly defensive of their borders and consider those whom they do not have an agreement with as trespassing on their lands, expanding them without hesitation. So once again, we're getting more fleshing out of the Mardu. Like in the same way that Sultai no longer just evil, make evil like scheme faction. This Mardu is more no longer just like attack faction. Like they're definitely still have like that offensive aspect about them, but we see here more about like their politicking, and a lot of this seems to definitely take inspiration from like Genghis Khan. Like I think Genghis Khan, I think one of the reasons his empire was so successful is that people attribute at least part of it to like how it's like basically it's advanced like messaging and trade system, so information could get around faster, which let them respond quicker. So we see the Mar take inspiration for that and incorporate into that whole theme of speed. Like the Mardu have always had a speed theme and lightning, but this time it seems like they're kind of emphasizing it. Let's see, like here they've always had lightning magic, even here. But so here we see them not just like having speed in just combat, but also just like politics and stuff. Um, Revival of the Mardu. With the constant traveling and war during the Kalagan's rule, the people struggled to keep their traditions. Also, the dragons go a lot more sleek, obviously, more emphasis on speed. Like the Kalagan brood was felt like a bit more bulky, but these ones feel sleeker. Let me see. Let me just look for a picture of the Kalagan. Yeah, I mean, Kolaghan's still like sleeker than the other dragons and has like the extra wings, but there's less feathers on the new dragons. There's like it's like these the new dragons are definitely more glowy, and they definitely feel at least a bit less bulky. Um, with the constant traveling and war during Kolaghan's rule, people struggled to keep their traditions and unity. Dissenting whispers of rebellion spread amongst the humanoids of the brood, but they remained isolated pockets for many years. During the Phyrexian invasion, Kolaghan's brood made up much of the frontline fighters, resulting in some of the heaviest losses of people and dragons of all the broods. Though they ultimately drove the Phyrexian invaders out, the war became the final push into chaos. Several rebel leaders raised the Mardu banner and started the open war against Kolaghan, not giving themselves or Kolaghan time to recover from the invasion. So yeah, we definitely have like the Mardu. They're definitely touching on the Mardu's like sort of more offensive fighting style and how that affected them during their invasion. Fractured and with small numbers, the Mardu knew they needed to rebuild and unify as a clan if they were to survive. The rebellion gathered members from across the plain, both those of Kolaghan's brood and members of the other broods, growing over time into a formidable army, ultimately allowing the Mardu to defeat Kolaghan alongside the Dragon Lords. This feels like a bit of like the white influence coming in back in, where it's like sort of taking in other people, like focusing on the group over the individual for a bit. Not that they don't, it's just that you know the Culligan brew is just red black, but then Barty go back to being red black white. So I have to assume this is a bit of the influence of the white, sort of like how the Abzan used to adopt people from other like clans. We see the Mardu doing kind of the same thing here. And then focusing on unity. The Mardu Dolkovins. The Mardu follow a highly organized military structure. As such, lines between military and civilian life lack distinction in the clan. So they are still heavily militarized, but just like in a different way. The Mardu see themselves as sorry. Also, if my nose sounds stuffy. It's pollen allergies. I have to turn off my fan because my fan was making my mic act up. So I guess you can't win. It's a lose lose. The Mardu see themselves as part of a whole, recognizing the importance of their individual contributions to the success of the clan. For all levels of ranks, warriors have daily lives and domestic duties to support the clan. One might find that a hardened warrior is also an expert in beast training, sewing, or cooking. Even for those who are strictly civilian, there is an overall sense of camaraderie and a military affiliation. For example, all young aspiring Mardu warriors participate in lightning proving. So we definitely have like a military bit, which is definitely we've seen in like red white. Notably, I think I've talked about this before, but the reason it manifests in red white is sort of just like red's like freedom through action, and white's like peace through structure, and then you can mix it and match that. So you can have like peace through action, which is basically just like how do we create a safer, more unified world through action. What you feel, if something is wrong, that must mean it's morally wrong. If something is right, that must mean it's morally right. Then you also have like you could also have like red's goal of like freedom through white's goal of like white's like methods of like structure. So like protect freedoms through structural institutions. This definitely feels like sort of like the more like Borosy, like Boros as in like the Legion, not necessarily as like an entire like the color combination. It feels like more Boros Legion, just like military, like we fight for what's right and we're not hesitate to do it kind of thing. Like we kind of follow our gut to fight for what's right. The Mardu are led by the Khan, who is supported by a council of appointed generals called the Dalkovin Assembly. Each general leads their own subgroup of Mardu called Dalkovin. Most of the appointed generals are former leaders in the rebellion against Kolaghan, venerated warriors from the Phyrexian invasion, and civilian leaders pivotal to reestablishing order and teaching Mardu arts lost to Kolaghan's reign. Um, yeah, so we already see like their armor has like a lot of square motifs. Like so for the Abzan it was a diamond, for the Jeskai it was like a circular effect, and then for the Sultai it was like this like pointed shapes basically. This one is just like more like rectangular and square. Um, did I actually look at this? Oh yeah. So here once again we have like some more of the some more of what I assume is like Jeskai Ascension art. Once again, this doesn't feel like it's really a main character because they're all like equal distance. You can see all their faces. Like these three at least equal distance. Here we have the dragon to show like the dragon's influence. I wonder if this is on the same artist. Is it? Different artists, but still we have the dragon. The dragons like the way the dragons are handled in the background is a bit different. Like this one obviously is being affected by like the atmosphere almost. It's like the farther things away, sometimes they look more blue or more white because there's just like more sky basically between you and them. So this dragon looks like slightly, just ever so slightly bit more faded because there's like fog around here, which distinguishes it as like being in the background. With the other dragons we saw, they were being handled sort of like in a faded way, and then the Desultai one is basically just like almost in the foreground. Um, I don't think it means anything particularly. If it was by the same artist, I'd assume it means like it shows the influence of dragons of each of the in each of the clans, but like and how they do it. But I think it's just how different artists handle it differently. Um, you can also see less of an like less of a focus on like the just like purely just fighting. Like they do still have like a warrior culture, obviously. Like if you look at these guys, but it's like this person is like a warrior. This is like an old man, and to be fair, it might be like an old man who kick your ass sort of archetype. But at first blush, like you see this guy. This guy isn't like a warrior running down, shooting lightning bolts at you with like a massive spear, like this guy probably is. And then same, and this guy here also looks like a diplomat. I mean, he looks way bigger. He looks like he might be able to beat you in a fight. But he looks like his clothes aren't like armor. He looks like he like sits around at a table and then like debates politics. And then these guys look like they have armor, like actual weapons, like they're ready to rumble. And these guys like the political leaders. Obviously, their dragons have a lot more glowy bits, and there's a lot of spiky shapes. Like the dragon itself is spiky, but it almost looks like they're almost in a way looks like they're almost exploding out of the scene because like in the background you see like these exploding clouds and rocks. Like they're designed in a way to make it look like they're going outward, and with these guys like as the center, so it's like almost like a force like pushing outwards. Um, and then obviously like I think the cloud, but also kind of like the drag axe, like as sort of the silhouettes bring your attention over here. And then you have like the ground, and these people are like less detailed because they're in the background and they aren't as important. Um, aren't as important as for the like the because and you also just can't fit them. But and we see here we see their camp down there. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the. So I mean, it's interesting that we're seeing more. Just in general, we're just seeing more of the domestic life of each of the clans, um, but also just like especially with like some Mardu and Assaults, we're getting more of them like outside of just like what they do besides like fight all day. Um, Here we have more art. So he's highlighted basically by like the purple lightning. Like we have the purple lightning, and then you can tell this person's the main character because this person's like kind of farther away and their face is more obscure. Their face is kind of obscure because of the angle, but you can still see it. Obviously, like the teeth. They're like they're the biggest figure in the frame, and like this arguably acts as like sort of like a frame, so you can like brings attention to like the head, and then you have like this whirling dragons like Dragonstorm shape behind them, and then the crowds of like faceless people because again they're not the main characters this person is. So you see this person's face. They're the biggest person on screen. They're not just bigger because they're muscular. We don't really know how far back this guy is, but they're big because they're like literally in the foreground. And then once again, we're interesting. We're also like at a camera angle where we're kind of under them, which is something that's used to like show like basically like that the person we're looking at is like in power or control. So we're kind of framed like under this person. Where we're looking up at them to show like they're in a way that they're like above us. Not that this person is like supposed to be like this person specifically supposed to be above us, but more like they're supposed to show like their power. Like this is like the person that potentially they're most powerful. Like they just got walked into the arena or just defeated someone. They're like raw, and everyone's like, you know, holy shit, this guy's awesome. So it's supposed to be like a moment of triumph, basically. Is what we're seeing this person in a moment of triumph. We're situated kind of under them. We're looking up at them. They're above us. They have like the high ground, like politically. Because like here, obviously, we're more in line and more even. Like for a lot of the art here has been like more eye level. This art we're situated under this eye level. And also by virtue it makes like this person like it helps bring focus to this guy because we're more in eye level with this guy, and then this guy is like way higher. The Mardu have no permanent settlements, instead moving constantly across the plane. They're Dalkovins, able to erect massive organized camp cities in less than a day. The Mardu have one main traveling party that is led by the Khan, alongside small groups under the various generals. Small groups meet up with the main party periodically to trade supplies and information. Their travels are directed by the Dragonstorm's weather, movement, and movements of other clans and whims of leadership. All members of the Mardu are expected to contribute to the movement and settlement of the clan. So once again, a bit like of the more like group unity. Like everyone has a place in our society. Everyone needs to help. Put like the group first in a way. The Mardu can train most any kind of animal and have a diverse array of creatures within their rank. Much like the people with much like with the people of the clans, the mounts will often perform military and civilian functions. A creature may transport gear while the clan is on the move and later be armored and ridden to battle. Regardless, mounts in the Mardu are treated with care and respect and are viewed as integral to the clan. So once again, we have a bit like more extrapolation on like how the clans treat their animals. And I'm not sure if we ever really were told how Mardu treat their horses. They don't look like they're treated badly, but I think they're right now they're just like going out of their way to like emphasize that, like they care about their animals. They're not just like They don't just like have they don't want their orcs to just get stabbed basically. Um, Mardu can train almost any kind of animal and have a diverse array of creatures within their ranks. Much like with the people of the clans, mounts will often perform military and civilian functions. Oh yeah. We already read that. Mardu civilians and military. Um, through the lines between military and civilian life are the lines between military and civilian life are often blurred in the Mardu. Artisans and hunters and healers don't participate in battle, and instead specialize in a skill beneficial to the clan. The eldest within the Mardu are highly respected and a number act as generals in the assembly, viewed as the collective wisdom of the clan that preserve their cultural traditions. So I assume that's what we were seeing up here with these two people, because like I said, these people don't look like warriors; these look more like, and this person looks like an elder, like a wise elder. Um, we got some more art here, so I love the face on this person. Um, but let's just let them like setting up their camp or maybe taking it down. It's kind of to tell. But so I mean, these two are like on the foreground, so they're the main focus. And but like, and then you see like the highlights bring attention to them. And then these people have less detail because they're farther away. And there's obviously the judges brought here. There's like a bunch of stuff going on here. There's like an elephant. There's a bunch of people. The tents down here. I don't really have a lot to say. Once again, we see like the square pattern. Also, like I said, Magic the Gathering loves its like color coding. So we got like a lot of red. Instead of white, they use silver. It looks like, and then we use purple or black. Um, yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. I haven't been saying like with all the other pieces, but still great art. I don't want to like once again. Blacksmiths are particularly revered not only for creating weapons, but also their uncanny ability to break down, duplicate, and improve found technology. In addition, blacksmiths play an essential role in Mardu cultural practice, such as in the making of tools for storm singers, ceremonies, and celebrations. Mardu blacksmiths are renowned for the crafting armor and weapons able to channel the latent energy of the Dragonstorm that lingers in the plane. That's an interesting bit of world building is that there's sort of like this background radiation of like draconic energy, which I don't think was always there before, or at least it wasn't referenced in Tarkir. It was just like the storm pouring out dragons. Um, so it seems like the plane's getting a bit more draggy. Like there's something changing in the plane. Once again, we have blacksmiths. Blacksmiths tend to have a connection to red because of well, one because heat and fire, and its connection to like that concept of passion, but also because like blacksmithing has sort of like an art, like expression of art and like emotion. Um, I think blacksmiths can also be connected to white sometimes because white's more like about equipment. It's about like helping others by making like equipment and stuff for them to use. Military roles. So I mean, main focus obviously. Um, the creature we don't actually see the creature because the creature doesn't like that isn't as important. We have the creature's face. We just see like its massive body. It's a dragon probably, and a feathery dragon too. And then we have the noticeably no, like the basically like the way this person's angled. It's like it's at like a slant, which creates like an interesting line of action. Basically, like this is like a more of an action packed scene. Like this isn't like just like someone standing there. Like here, they're like on solid ground. They're standing. This one's like they're on the move, like they're moving. So like in order to capture that movement, we're like at an angle. So they're either we're either just the camera's either just like off an angle or they're like kind of like swooping in a swooping motion. It's one of the two. And once again, we have like the explosive like basically shape behind them, almost like a burst forth of energy. And then this person's the main character because they're the only person here. They're the only face we can see. There's light on them. Got the color coding and like square shapes and the massive spear. So there are three major roles in the Mardu army. Infantry, a small portion of the Mardu forces composed of groups trained for specific situations, terrains, or combat objectives. Cavalry, a expected role in the Mardu ranks and the bulk of their forces, is composed of light and heavy cavalry depending on the situation. Each warrior is an expert beast rider and trainer. The light cavalry typically attacks first and is followed by the heavy cavalry to deliver the finishing blow. So I wonder if we're gonna see mounts in this set. I don't know. Mounts seem like they're probably gonna be deciduous, kind of like vehicles. Where they just show up like when it seems like appropriate. But I'm still not 100%. But who can say? Siege engineers, the small subset of the Mardu force, required a unique combination of abilities. Siege engineers must be adept at using the technology, but also able to control and manipulate the large structures. Um, daily life. This is my favorite image. I love like the juxtaposition between like daily life and then just this person getting fucking chucked. Um, what I assume is what's that one card? There's like one card sacrifice deals damage equal to like the creature's power. Fling. Yeah, so he refling. So we have this person. We see their faces. These people are less detailed in the background. They're more like faded. These people are like more vibrant and in color. This person's obviously like the focus, followed by this person. Like it goes from this person to this person just because this person's the biggest here. And once again, we're kind of framed under it in a way, which I'm not as sure if that's supposed to be like show like a like power confidence, but it does show like you don't want this guy flying at you, I suppose. And then we have this person back here doing the throwing. Um, we're obviously inside somewhere. Um, Hunting and trade. As a primarily nomadic group, the Mardu typically trade the spoils of their hunts, including meat, furs, and hides in exchange for staple crops. Mardu technologies are also particularly valued among other clans, and though they closely guard their blacksmith's finest works, they are willing to trade their technical secret knowledge and skills for materials that they do not have access to. So again, we have the Mardu doing more than just like fighting. In the same way that Sultai were doing more than just backstabbing in the set, we have the Mardu like actually like how they politic and like talk. Singing. People in the Mardi can be found sharing and creating new songs together. Oh, so that's also interesting. Once again, we have like more of like their artistry. The Mardi have a collection of traditional songs for sending off the dead, marriage ceremonies, and luck for departing warriors or the sick. Mardi also practice their war shrieks, powerful songs to intimidate their foes and energize the troops. I think we did see the war shrieks in previous sets. Well, I don't remember what the names were if we did see it, but I'm pretty sure we have seen like evidence of the shrieks. Um, Maybe if I just don't do Brood, maybe if I do Mardu. It's interesting because they could draw a parallel between the shrieks and dragon breathing. We'll see if that's what they do in this one. I'm not sure. Like, it might just be like I'm sure it wasn't like made with that in mind, but like I could see like over time like they're like, hey, the shrieking's kind of like lightning. Like here we have like Howl the Horde, so I could see a connection between that and like kind of like Dragon Breath if they're willing to make that connection. Um, Painting and sculpting. The Mardu create large-scale murals and metal sculptures for both practical and aesthetic purposes. Structures decorate and enhance the beauty of their camps, and they can act as waystones in the vast steppe to guide the clan or mark spiritually significant areas. Um, Once again, spirituality seems probably like the influence. I mean, not to say that there aren't like not spiritual like non-white factions. I feel like the spirituality might be coming from white, at least in the case of the Mardu a bit, and the idea of like sort of like a morality. Um, a morality that affects your soul. Sports for the Mardu. Sports are considered an essential combat training tool because of their competitive, adaptive, and fast-thinking requirements. Of course, many accept sports as a convenient excuse for the fun and energy they bring to the clans. The three primary sports in the Mardu are beast riding, a contest of skill where riders perform a scripted series of tricks on beastback, normally judged by the leader of the camp. Archery, a series of escalating archery challenges, normally done with flaming electrified arrows racing against other archers. So we have seen a lot of the archery, the archer prowess before. Like they love their bows. Yeah, they've always loved their bows. We got like a lot of art of them shooting like like shooting bows and stuff. Um, Wrestling. It tests the strength and agility and coordination often done in teams and to entertain cheering crowds. I think the wrestling bit is new, but it definitely gives the vibe of like more like a modern wrestling. I'm not sure this is intentional. It could just be like a different like a cultural reference I don't understand, but it gives the vibe like almost like there's like like you're this gives the vibe of like I'm not saying like modern wrestling feels like a story like a show like it's creating a narrative. I'm not sure exactly that's what's happening here. I think they might just be duking it out, but it definitely gives the vibe of like more modern wrestling in a way. But I mean, it stands the weapons, and I assume this is what this is. This is wrestling as opposed because they don't have any weapons. Um, Decree of Thunder. As a highly organized community, the Mardu follow strict cultural laws that dictate what is and is not allowed within the clan. So I think that's like kind of like the influence of white and it's like structure and like morality and the idea of like a strong morality. As the original edicts of Ilagra were lost to time, a new code was created after Kologan fell, and the council swore allegiance to the new Khan. The Decree of Thunder is composed of three primary tenets, which form the basis for all the other laws. I'm not sure if we ever got the original edicts. I'm not sure if we ever got the original edicts. It's not a problem if we didn't. I'm just curious. Um, Loyalty is earned. Within the Mardu, actions speak the loudest. A leader must earn the respect of their troops, while a soldier must demonstrate the commitment to the fellows. It's a little bit of like kind of like the Boros, like prove like prove for the good of the group you have to act kind of like quickly. like actions speak louder than words, and like moral like dogma. Community is strength. Each person within the Mardu has their place in the greater whole. And clan also this call speed influence of black too, because black is like the idea of like individuality and just sort of like get to earn it basically to do whatever it takes to like get something. So that could also be like the influence of black a bit. Media strength. Each person within the Mardu has their own place in the greater whole. And the clan is only as strong as the most valuable, so they protect and care for them. Once again, that's definitely like a white philosophy thing. It's like the greater the good of the group over the good of the individual, and everyone has a place in the group. Victory is survival. A successful conquest is only a moment. As a clan, they must consider what comes next. The greatest victory is the preservation of the clan's future. So this feels like definitely like a black kind of like a black motto. Like look out for number one, victory, survival. Do what it takes. Do whatever you can to survive. Basically, um, history is written by the victors. From these tenets, many further laws, as well as all the punishments for breaking them, have been codified. While these laws can vary slightly between Dolkovans, adherence to them is a key marker of being a member of the Mardu. Among these laws are rules of engagement in warfare, including the role of diplomacy in the Mardu. The Mardu will not invade a clan's territory without first sending a diplomat in person, and persons who surrender are treated with respect and offered a role within the clan. That's a little. I mean, that's kind of feels like kind of a flex, but So once again, interesting. We're getting more to. I feel like the Mardu just used from based on the context I have, the Mardu seemed like they would just attack you one day, like you just be chilling and they just show up over the horizon and like jump you. But it seems here like they're willing to they have more of a like the diplomatic angle also extends to like we don't fight unless we have to, which I guess might also do with like their lower numbers. I don't know if they like how much they've recuperated, but it seems like they like took like a blow to like their population. So um Flash of Sky and Ember. The Mardu believe in the Ember Heart and Sky Breath. Two. Oh, that's interesting. Has that always been there? So obviously, red and fire. Also, it's like literally heart. So like heart has a connection to the emotion, and fire is also often uses like a metaphor for emotion, like burning passion. My blood boils, and sky breath. White descendants have a lot of flyers, and like this like the idea of sky like a higher element representing like spirit or like reason or something. Two forces of nature representing the land and sky exist in perpetual conflict. So like kind of like red and white in a way. Like they're two opposing color philosophies. Red tends to have like a focus on like the earth and like the body, and then like white's more like focus on like the mind and like the spirit with like the air. Um, this clash of forces is manifested in sparks of lightning, raging storms, mighty winds, and geological upheavals. So these definitely feel all red. Red, like red has a connection to like lightning, fire, you know, and then the winds might be more might be more white, but like like earth magic, lightning magic, storm magic, very red. Like look at the Izzet, or a mix of red and blue. It's like a lot of like lightning. Um, the wind might also represent like red speed almost. For the Mardu, these are forces that cannot be controlled, but rather must be respected. And the pace of their nomadic lifestyle is designed to allow them to survive amidst these inexorable clashes in nature. So this definitely feels like kind of like Red's influence. Like red is next to green on the color pie, which kind of reflects the idea. It's like Red doesn't believe you can necessarily control everything or that you necessarily should. You just kind of like follow your emotions or follow what you want to do. So here we kind of have that, which is like because black as a color is like kind of like black believes you can basically like have more control of the environment around you because it's next to blue, but red and white they are both next to green, so they have like less of an emphasis on the idea of like controlling the world around you or yourself. So here we see that kind of reflecting the idea like, oh, you can't control everything around you. The most powerful mages and storm singers among the Mardu can draw upon the power of these colliding forces and, for short periods of time, manipulate them. Overall, the Mardu have an open religious structure, mixing traditions and beliefs from other clans. Belief in the clash of sky and ember exists along is often complemented to practices brought in from other cultures. So once again, we're hearing more about like their religion outside of just like we're hearing more about the religion instead, and it's not just like fighting, because like they're less one note. Like the Sultai were stabby McStabby, the Mardu were like fighty McFighty. They were like jocks. Naming the Mardu can have three names: a family name, a chosen name, and a given name. It's tradition to go by a family name until a Mardu comes of age, at which time they will choose their own name after finishing the lightning proving. A given name is special. Third name given only by the clan to a warrior who has accomplished a feat in service to the clan and is named after it. So I'm pretty sure it happened in one of the short stories we saw. Not the one for this set, but like one of the ones that everyone likes, like Elena who smiles at death. Well, I'm drinking water real quick. Okay. Great Assemblage, a celebration and competition that is held annually at the behest of the Khan. All the Mardu come together to create a large feast, give gifts to one another, perform songs, and participate in or watch a tri-tier competition of three Mardu sports. This is a time where those who have recently joined the Mardu are especially welcome to top Mardu traditions and where Mardu issue friendly challenges to their rivals. So once again, like combat and stuff. The lightning proving. In this ceremony, all the aspiring Mardu warriors who have come of age take a journey to a mountain peak to capture lightning during a storm. They bring it back as proof of their wit and ability to complete tasks for their clan. The exact nature of the lightning proving varies across Stalkovans. Some emphasize the young Mardu working as a team, while others are more competitive with a single winner earning higher status. Lightning is often used to spark a bonfire, and the Mardu eat. So fire, brings emphasis on fire, and the Mardu eat and celebrate throughout the night. The participants from then on are called by their chosen name. Also, red has association with lightning, obviously, because like I said earlier, like heat with passion, but also like lightning also associated with passion. Like like if the atmosphere feels like electric, it usually means like excitement, and lightning is like fast and like fleeting, kind of like emotion. Can be not all emotions are fast, but it can be can be so. Mardu magic. Mardu primarily centers and manipulates centers around manipulation of lightning and enhancing their physical abilities and weaponry, reflecting their commitment to strength and speed. Okay, that makes sense. Mages often use their like lightning, obviously red, enhancing physical abilities, red, and maybe also a bit of white weaponry. So like equipment, so red and white reflects their strength. Um, Mages often use their specialized gear crafted by blacksmiths. Though the powerful mages can manipulate this energy directly, they can also spark flames and control other forms of raw elemental energy, often putting their skill to use in battle with other clans. So obviously, this person the maker is the only person you can see. Once again, we kind of have the explosion effect by using the background, where it's like maybe if you like maybe it almost seems like this maybe this person's causing the earth to jet up like with like energy. I don't think that's what's happening. I think it's just the background, but it's like being used to create convey like a language of like power. Once again, we're framed kind of under this person. We're looking up at them. I feel like I'm trying to figure out like where we are. Like I feel like we're maybe this is like the horizon kind of, and this rock is pointing down at us. So we're looking up at this person. We have obviously the main they're highlighted by the lightning. And the lightning goes around them. The lightning goes around them in a way like we don't see any lightning like, cutting in front of them. Like we see cutting behind them, but not in front of them, so we can see them pretty clearly. So it creates like a sort of frame for us to view the character. Um, Jagged strike triangular shapes to show like basically like danger almost, and the whirling Dragonstorm above them. And obviously the like so much energy. It's so much like power and force. The rocks are like being kicked up, and this also helps bring attention to like this person's head, like all the lightning. There's literally just like a whirling like tempest above their head to like bring your attention up to here. You see their face and the glowing eyes draw a connection between them. Um, Also, lightning's purple, which like black is often symbolized by purple. Um, Mario Storm also like red. Sometimes uses purple lightning. Usually red uses purple lightning because it's like red and blue, but this could be using purple lightning because it's like black. Um, Mario Storm singers are the clan spiritual leaders and are often consulted for all sorts of matters, both trivial and substantial. Storm singers use sacred amulets to call the energies of the earth and sky into themselves and others, and value support through empowering soldiers, weapons, and each other. Storm singers also bear their war chiefs with magical strength. Outside of battle, it is their duty to help protect Mardu camps, guide civilians, and lead ceremonies. So once again, we see what they have. We see that they have jobs outside just fighting. Mardu relationships to dragon and dragon storms. The dragon hunts. The Mardu's unpredictable, fast nature and their history of keeping up with Kolaghan's brood makes them reliable dragon hunters. As a central territory, they maintain constant vigilance across the steppe and will not hesitate to attack any dragons they discover. Within with their ecosystem, they can rapidly alert each other of potential threats. So once again, emphasis on like their speed and also communication, not just fighting. Clan dragon. Modern dragons are treated as another part of the clan, and they're expected to contribute on and off the battlefield just like any other warrior. Dedicated trainers and sometimes a storm singer care for the clan dragons. Larger dragons tend to be fast and agile. The smaller dragons are often mounts for expert skyriders, while the large dragons may aid in transport for Mardu troops and Dolkovans. The Mardu will be relentless in their pursuit of capturing a dragon if it seems particularly strong or quick. Sometimes dedicating months of their lives to it. Mardu dragons wield lightning breath weapons, shocking their enemies with their destructive capabilities. I mean, yeah, fair enough. This doesn't really look like lightning. This doesn't look like a lightning. It just looks like a mighty roar. All this has like the purple motif we've been seeing with lightning. I mean, so the dragons make it because we can't really make good like visuals of these other people's faces. Like best is maybe this person, but this person's like way over there. Dragon's the main character because we see most of the dragon's face, and takes up the most of like the image. So this feels like simple. It's kind of explained because it's how simple it is. It's just like big dragon in the and it has glowing eyes, so you can tell it's like magic. With glowing eyes also match with this, so you can tell there's a connection between it and the breath. And it has a lot of spiky shapes. And once again, we have like the feathers. I guess emphasis on like flight, but we have 4 feathers, and then also like the limbs. Um, Dragonstorm. Mardu's nomadic lifestyle allows them to stay ahead of Dragonstorms, often chasing after them both to catch the wild dragon and for the rainfall that nourishes the steppe of their grazing herds. They're okay. I mean, that's interesting. I guess rain isn't really something I think about. I mean, it is if you're talking about a normal storm, but the dragon storm, I get so caught up in like, oh, it's dragons pouring out of the storm. I didn't really think about like like how it plays into the ecology, basically. Their dragon storms have also developed innovative lightning barriers that channel the energy of dragon storms into a swirling wall, keeping the camp inside relatively safe. That's kind of interesting. I mean, definitely have I mean, obviously they love lightning, but I mean, you'd expect that like given their like the track record, would be like, oh, he has to like run through the dragon storm, but it seems interesting that they have like a well like kept defense. The majority of Mardu is in the central steppe of Tarkir, touching the borders of all other clans. The climate is typically dry in the summers with short rainy seasons, and the steppe is dotted with rocky plateaus, swamps, chasms, and surrounding mountains. So rocky plateaus. I mean, this obviously feels like this feels like plains are associated with white mana. Rocky plateaus, white mana. I think there's literally a plateau that's like red and white. Attached to red and white. Then there's swamps, obviously black mana, chasms, surrounding mountains, etc. I mean, mountains are like red. Um, Once again, the sort of explosion effect and the landscape behind it, and then this is obviously like not focused on a specific person. It's like the place is the main character. We have the people here for scale for how big this place is, and even the dragon, and then also we have the dragons at distance. Um, Obviously, like we don't see anyone's face here because they're either too far away or it's just the back of their head. We can't really make out the dragons' faces, so obviously, so this is like in a sense is the main character because this is the most detailed thing, and then these like points slope down into it to draw our attention to the place even more, and then it's covered like it's highlighted, etc. Where everything else is like has less of a highlight. And once again, color coding red, white. I'm not really sure if you see black really that represented here. Dalkovan cities, nomadic cities that can be broken down and built in hours. Dalkovans are often differentiated from each other by the name of their generals, as they are constantly on the move. Many refer to their Dalkovan simply as home. I'm sure that doesn't get confusing. Thunderous Stadium, the central tent in the largest Dalkovan city where Mardu congregate for market trade, play, eating, and day-to-day activities. It is also where the main feast for the great assemblage are held. Dragon Song Rock, a nickname for a large circular rock formation that is used as a waypoint and vaguely resembles a dragon from above, has been heavily painted and is regarded as a peaceful being for diplomacy. More like to sing here for the way it echoes of their voice. That's nice. Stanstep Gate, a former absentee that has since been captured by the Mardu. Remnants of the absent structure can be seen amongst the Mardu banners and tents. The regions marks the transition from the Mardu steppe to more arid absent territory. I mean, we saw a bit of the conflict with Mardu and Abzan here with the Baron Steppe siege. So I guess is that seriously the same siege? It actually might be the exact same siege. Because this is Sandstep Gate and this is Baron Steppe siege. Well, it might be different, but definitely highlights the conflict between between them. Scream Reach, a small system of bogs and swamps located near the intersection between Abzan and Mardu, and Sultai territory. So all these things. So this is so bogs and swamps tend to be associated with black mana. But also all the ones bordering them, or all the clans bordering this territory all have black in their color identity. So that's why it seems to be like swamp. Name is taken from the screeching ravens that dwell in the hollow trees. Once again, ravens are also to be associated with black mana. Obviously you have thunder with red, and rock, like sand, rock and sand with red. Golden Grave, a lowland grassy steppe that connects the Screamage to Sand Steppe. These rolling meadows form much of the Mardu territory. Large creatures roam this region, attracting dragons, and sudden storms are known to form frequently. The steppes is located with several permanent markers built by the Mardu as guideposts and refuges from the storm. Refugees from the storm. These are often also shrines marking the site of battles and where the Mardu and enemy dead are buried. Well, at least I guess they kind of at least they respect their enemies. More respect for the enemy here. I mean, white does have association with gold, but and I guess it's like a flat step. And also like the fact that it's used as a diplomacy shows for them says sort of like the white connect like the connections like the white man in alignment here. It's like this is a place where we talk things out and hopefully we can come to a peace. We hopefully we can create peace through structure here. The Scour. A deep chasm passes through Mardu lands and into the Kal Sisma Mountains in Timorlands. It is eroded by constant winds spiked with a fine black grit. Despite the danger, it's a great source for mining and ambush and a frequent point of regional conflict. So this one is probably gonna be a bit short just because I was trying to um not ramble as much. But next time we'll do the teamer. Uh, I got some interesting stuff going on. This is like I think some of the most colorful teamer stuff we've ever seen. Um, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, with on that note, I'll see you guys later.